Good morning, everybody in the United States. Good afternoon in Europe. If you're over in Europe. And, my brother's probably still sleeping. He lives in Oz. It's about midnight over there. So that's plus 14 for him. It's 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time where I'm at. And today we're going to be drawing live stream. I got my drawing hat on. This is my lobster hat. Can you see that? Hi! Lobster hat. You don't need a drawing hat. It's not required. But all you need is something to draw on. Paper. I got paper today. Some of my friends draw on junk mail, the backs of the envelopes. You can draw on that. Just use a ballpoint pen or crayons. Today we got Sharpies, and we got crayons, and we got pastels, and colored pencils, and all sorts of stuff. So whatever you do. So the secret to drawing is drawing. That's it. Moving the pencil or the pen or the crayon or even some mustard on the paper, that's drawing. It all counts. And let's see here, what else we got covered. That's about it. Oh, you can even use jelly to draw with. Yeah. Okay. So we have the French box as the easel. This is the first time we're doing this live. But you could use whatever you want. This is regular copy paper for your computer. I got probably, I don't know, 20,000 to 30,000 sheets of paper in stock. So if anybody wants paper, we got plenty of paper. And we got different sizes. These are the clips we use. We got potato bag chips clips for to keep that on there. So to recap, we got pens, paper, crayons, colored pencils, pastels, whatever you got on hand. Alright, get rid of that. Alright, so let's see. Let's start off. Let's just get into it. We can use whatever we got on hand. This is a red marker. Okay. And actually, you can use black or whatever you got. We're going to draw a worm. That's a lot of what people see me draw is little worms and monsters and fish and all sorts of stuff. So here we go. To draw a worm, we got, let's see, worms have, well, they got two eyes. You got to see where they're digging through the dirt. Worms eat up all sorts of scraps from the outside. You know, they take the dirt and they process it and they make casings, worm casings. It's very good for your vegetable garden or your plants. So we got two eyeballs there, and the worm's falling. He's trying to move them around. Okay, so we got that clipped on. All right, here we go. So we got two eyes, and then I like to put the little connecting rods down here. And if your pens or markers dry out, don't throw them away. They're good for shading or other things. You know, you don't have to throw them away once they go dry. It's kind of pointless. I like to keep a lot of markers on hand for shading purposes. So we got the connecting there like that. And what we do is you go down. You can start in pencil if you don't feel comfortable. You know, first erase your mistakes if you want. There are no mistakes in art. There are only happy accidents. There we go. Got that down there like that. And then we got the grass. My favorite grass drawer was probably Charles Schultz. And Peanuts. Alright, and he's got to have a rest of his head up here. And then the cap. That's a worm. Alright, so we got the draw out, the outline. You can do the outline in pencil and then come in with a different color. You don't have to use black. You can use whatever you want. Let's see. Let's use some green. We got some green here. We've got crayon. And you fill in that. Or you can make green grass, blue grass, bluegrass, and there we go. You see that? Okay. Green grass, green, and you can make funny noises when you draw. So absolutely imperative. If you want, you know, that's a good thing. It makes drawing go a lot easier, and it's funner that way. Funner, is that a real word? I don't know. Anyways, make. Okay, got the green. Now we got different colors here. We got let's go with yellow eyeballs for the. We got pastels. Pastels are messy, but they're fun. To set a pastel color after you finish your drawing, you can use hairspray. Aquanet is a good brand. They're all good. The cheapest is probably, the cheaper is good too. Actually, the chalk pastels that are done in the courtroom by the artist is set by hairspray. Oftentimes, you don't have to buy that artist, set stuff. It's just unnecessary. It's too expensive. It's all the same crap, anyways. Hairspray really works well. Let's see here. Purple. Let's go to purple. Purple. And then I skip a space and I go up here. Alright, and we're going to skip these two spaces. And we're going to go up here. You can go along the black line as close as you want. So you make that, and then it makes filling it in a lot easier. Just like that. Okay. And then let's go with orange. Orange. Nothing rhymes with orange. Nothing at all. I like that comic strip. Nothing rhymes with orange. Okay. And I got more oranges here. And then the last piece is up here. And you can do the same principle that I'm doing today with paint. However, there is a trick to painting. To make your yellows pop and your lighter colors pop, when you paint, put down white first. Let that dry, and then go over with yellow. Reason being is because it's transparent color. And once the white is dry, you put the yellow on top, and that's what makes it pop. No matter how many colors or layers of yellow in there, it's not going to pop as well if you have a white underpainting color. White. White is not really color. Well, color is basically light. And black is all the colors, and white is the absence of color. It's a light. Okay, so here we go. Let's go with a red marker. And so the worm can have a friend over here. Put another one over here. And once you put another friend over here, and the markers even make noises. Squeak, 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 squeak. A little mouse involved. Jot. Okay. Do that. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to do here? Blue. I'm going to go with blue. Seems to be showing up the best with pastels. But you can use markers, crayons, Sharpies, colored pencils, whatever you want. There you go. You'll fill in. I skipped those two. You can do it however you want. You can make your own worms. Worms are fun. Worms are very important. They make good compost. I like worms. And let's use orange for the eyeballs. And you can do the same thing on your computer too. I actually use Paintbox, a very simple program. You can do a whole lot with Paintbox. You don't need Photoshop or fancy programs to make good art. You don't need fancy materials to make good art. You just need to make it. And let's see here. Use a color that's going to show up really well on the camera. Red is always good. Red's over there. Alright. And we go on the outside, close to the edge of that outline, and then we do a quick fill in. So that's how we could fill in really fast. That way we don't have to worry about what we're doing. It just happens. More sound effects. Have fun with it. Okay, now let's see. Oh, let's do a little dialogue here. A little text. And these are worms, so we're going to put the word worm. Alright. And once you got the basic outline, don't use your teeth. Don't do as I do. Pull it off. It's got one hand. Shh. And your letters don't have to be perfect. I have dyslexia, so on the lettering, that's your own style. Path you do is your own. Go forth. And I got worm here. Alright, worm. Make sure you cover your markers, because then it won't dry out. You can probably fill them up with food coloring too and water, and I'll make a marker. Okay, let's use red. Fill that in with red. Doesn't have to be perfect. There are no mistakes. There we go. I want a little richer red. Put it on the end of your pen there. And the Sharpie company actually recycles their pens. The one school I visited at the Wellingford Elementary School, where I did 3 murals, the art class actually saves their Sharpies and they ship them back to the company for recycling. You can look into that, recycling Sharpies. I never heard of such a thing until I went there. Alright. Alright, worm. Now what do you think's gonna go next? I don't know. Love. Love. It's all about the love, baby. Okay, here we go. Love. L O V E. Worm love. La 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 la. La 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 la. La love. Love. Love love love. Love love love. Drool drool drool. Drool 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 drool. White face. La 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 la. Scap-a-da-bap. Bap-bap-bap-bap-bap-bap-bap-bap. Bzzzt. Okay, the last thing we need to do is, when you make a piece of art, you sign your name, and I usually date it. So we're going to put our name and our date and everything at the bottom here. And we're going to use a black marker for that, because that's what we've got a whole bin of. Okay, here we go. Black. Okay. And my name is David. D A V I D G. Gerbstadt. Gerb is tanner, and Stadt is city. So we're the tanners of the city in Germany. That's what our name means in German. And if you look at the German map, right smack in the middle of it is my name. Right smack in the middle of that map, you'll find the city of the town of Gerbstadt. G-E-R-B-S-T. I have been known to spell my name wrong. A-D-T. And then I usually date it. Today is Thursday, April 9th. So, April A-P-R-I-L 9th 2020, or MMXX for Roman. MMXX. We'll just put 2020. There you go. Worm Love. And if anybody wants to buy the drawing, they're more than welcome to. You can pay whatever you want for that. Okay, let's go. Next one. Let's see what we got here. I think let's get a bigger paper. You can use whatever size you want. I'm just using bigger paper. It's probably easier on me right now to use bigger. Bigger isn't always better. It's just another way to do it. Alright, got some bowl clips here on the sides to keep her from messing around. Okay. Okay, let's rock and roll. Now, sometimes what I like to do is, this is cool, what we're going to do now. You get a black or a ballpoint pen or whatever you want. Let's go with, does this make a mark? Yeah, it makes a mark. There we go. This is how you get really fun and silly. I did this in college. I did this for my lithograph class, and where we drew on a stone, limestone, and then you print it. It's the old style way of printing. It's still used with artists, and I did this in some of my watercolor class. And basically, all you do is you take your pen, and we're going to get silly now, and you scribble until you fill the whole page up with scribble. Just keep going. Just scribble. Just get crazy with it. And when your pen dries out, like that one is, get another pen. And when that one dries out, get another one. Let's see here. You're gonna use purple. Use whatever you want, and you want to fill the page up. Hold on a sec. A bag of tricks. All right. This is a cheap round stick pen, ballpoint. Hotel pens are really great to draw with. They're really nice. Just scribble all over the page. Scribble, 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 scribble. And make the noises. Keep going. Fill up the page. Fill that page up. You can use 2 pens at once if you want. They're really nuts. Or 3. Back and forth, up and down. Keep it, vary it. Just don't go in one direction for a while. Just make as many marks as you want. And no mistakes in this at all. This is a good way to just get loose. Get loose, get loose, get loose. Loosey goosey, warm up. Move that hand. Stop surfing. Stop scrolling. Stop tapping. Stop doing all that shit. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. It's the law of attraction. You know, we have oxygen. We have gravity still. We got food in the fridge. You got a fridge. You got food in the fridge. You're doing pretty good. Don't sweat it. Don't freaking sweat it or worry about it. You've gotten this far, right? What do you got to worry about? Worry is like a rocking chair. You get you back and forth for a long time and you don't go anywhere. It just makes, you know, if drawing's not your thing, if painting's not your thing, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's knitting, maybe it's crocheting, maybe it's calligraphy, like my friend Lisa. She does the streaming, the calligraphy stuff. Maybe it's Megan sewing. Who cares? The secret to doing it is doing it. And the more you do it, the better you get. It's not going to be perfect, you know. It's yours. You own it. Don't sweat it. Just keep moving this pen around. Like, where the hell is Gerbstadt going now? He's completely off in the deep end, swimming. And that's what my professor said in my first art class. I was swimming off into the deep end. That's what he told the other kids that weren't able to figure out the project. And I heard my name, and I popped up my head, and I said, what? And he says, no, you're doing fine. I was swimming off in the deep end really early. Because up to that point, I wasn't good at math, science, English. I got D's in an English class. I had to retake all my sciences. And for college, I applied to 7 colleges. I got into 1. And the guy at admissions basically said, he sat me down, he said, well, you got a 450 total on your SAT scores. That's math and English and math. 4 at 50 and you get 200 for your name. I was probably down by the low end of the class ratings. And he said, I'm going to let you in this school because I think you'll do well. I was an Eagle Scout, and that's about the only thing that really helped save my butt. And once I got in, I took a stagecraft class for. I thought it would be good communication majors. I took a wood class. So I thought I wanted to be an IA, industrial arts major, and I took a studio art class, and that's where I took off, baby. And I found out what I was good at, and I just went with it. And not long after that, that same guy sat me down and said, I think you should take more classes. And I did. And not long after that,
I took a vow, through sickness and health, rich or poor, I made it like a wedding vow, and I would be an artist, period. I would make art no matter how my situation. I've been very, very sick. I've been dead several times. I've been very, very broke. I've always, always, always seemed to have enough. Period. I've gotten through more stuff than I can even imagine or can even think about. And I'm still fracking here. I'm indoors. I have my nice home. I have a wonderful girlfriend. I have awesome dogs and cats. I'm fracking grateful. I've been on ventilators. I've been on feeding tubes. You name it. It's amazing. My doctor said, "Why are you still here? You should be dead." Very first morning. And I was like, okay. So you got your scribble. Fill in your page. Very little white. Okay? That's the key. You could, have as much white as you want. But you'll see in a second why we're doing this. Okay. Now, let me see. Let me get a good pen here. You want something that's going to show up. Black works really well. Or you can use a dark color like a blue or a red or something. Pick your favorite color if you want. I'm just testing out the waters here. Okay. I'm using a black Sharpie so it's going to show up. Now, in this scribble, just stare at it for a while. Okay? And you're going to see stuff you've never seen before. Your imagination is going to kick over. It's really cool. This is where the magic happens. Okay, so you look into here, you might see an animal with 3 heads. You might see a figure with like 6 arms or something. You might see some weird stuff. Trust me, you're going to see some strange stuff that you've never seen before. Just stare at this for a little while. And let's see what we got. Just stare. You might see some eyes, a head, eyes, and all sorts of strange stuff. Let's see what you got here. Okay. We're going to go down here and around and bound and through here. Sometimes you just got to move stuff around. Stare at it. Okay, let's see here. I think, got it. There's a line right here. Follow a line, and then change that line, and you'll see something pop out that you've never seen before. And darken that line in. It even doesn't matter where you're going. You have no idea. And there's a little loop here. There's like an oval shape. Go over that oval shape. I'm just doing what I'm doing. You find your shapes, because this is yours. Okay? Now there's another line over here. It goes up like that. So now we have 2 eyes. One's in the front, one's on the side. And you come down with that line there. I'm going to come down with that line there. And then there's an oval right there. And that makes a nice little mouth. See that? You got a head. It's right there. Easy. And then there's a couple little lines in that oval. And bring those down. They don't have to be straight. And you got teeth. Alright. Now, we got a little body going action here. And we got another little thing here. I did a whole print like this. It's like 18 by 20 or something. Just filled in with figures. And at one side down here, I was a conductor. I had a little podium, and I had sheet music on it with a bird perched up on the podium, on the music stand, and I had a conducting wand. And all over here in this print that I drew on in stone, using the same principle, all these people in my litho class, and we had them playing different instruments like the stand-up string bass, horns. Some people were drinking at tables like a coffee house, and I was conducting the class because the class was just, it was a hodgepodge mix of older and younger kids, and it was just drawing off into the deep end. And then off on the side was my professor drinking this huge martini glass, because he said, you know, now granted we're in college, and he said, you know, that's what he did after class, after at the end of the day. He had one, he said he would have one martini glass. Okay, back to drawing. Now we got the body down here, got the top and the trunk, and now we're going to put in some legs, and the legs can be like that. No rules to drawing, none. Your drawing. Fill a page, sign it, date it, done. You can use a comp notebook, notebook. You can use a spiral notebook. One of my favorite artists used to draw in comp books for his black marble comp books for his sketchbooks. The heck with the lines, who cares? So we've got the legs. I got some arms coming here like this. And just follow the lines. If the line comes over here like that, go over here like that. Now you got two arms. Now maybe there's another smaller guy down here, or girl, or thing, or whatever they are. And just follow that line. Keep following that line, wherever it is. Let the line take you. You don't draw. The pen draws. The pen does all the work. You're just moving the pen around. There's another person down here. Put some arms on him. You can put as many arms on as you want. As many fingers as you want. This one has 4 on one side and 3 on the other. That's 7 fingers. This person's got no fingers, it's got little loops. However you want to do it. Put hair on this. There you go, there's hair. And then you can cut a couple more shapes in there like that. And you can fill that in. There's your pupil. Alright. And you can go to color whenever you want. You know, if you want to fill it in, fill it in. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm making red. Probably show up the best on camera. But you can use yellow or green. Or mix your colors, whatever you want. Blend them. You can come over this in white, pastel. Or if you use colored pencils, you can blend it with a white. Let's try that. Here's a white right here. No, that's blue. Aha. White. Now what happens if we had the red and the white goes on top of that? Let's see. A little lighter tone here. And you don't even have to fill in that the whole way. You can just leave it there. What happens if we went over with yellow? Experiment. There you go. And let's hit that up with a, is that a light blue in there? I save all my bits of, these are all the end bits of my colored pencils. These are Prismacolor pencils. When it gets too small, I cut off the wood, and we save these bits in a little container. And so we got, over the couple, like a week or two, we got a whole bin full of bits. So these are all the bits of the colored pencils, because colored pencils, man. At one point I used to have hundreds and hundreds of Prismacolor pencils. I only have a few now. I use what I got. I remember when colored pencil colors were like 40 cents a stick, a pencil. Now they're like a few dollars for a pencil. Okay, so I got a little bit of colored pencil or whatever you got. I'm just getting blue basically, and I want blue right there. Okay. Alright. Let's see what else we got here. Let's color in the body here. And the body can be green. Let's go with green. This is crayon. Crayons are awesome. The Egyptians used crayons. It's basically a pigment in a wax medium. Wax. There you go. You can get crayons at restaurants. You know, and you can draw, flip your paper placemat over, or if you're like me, you bring a sketchbook everywhere you go and you draw. And so that's green right there. And what's this over here? Is that purple? Yeah, let's go with purple. There's purple right there. Fill that in. Color, color, color. Pieces gotta have a lot of color in it. Okay. And we're gonna do the background too. What I don't like is there's like a figure here, and the background's completely void of anything. You got to work the whole page, and it'll look more complete that way. It's a good way to make a complete piece is just to fill the whole page and have very little white involved, because the white will pop more and the background will be more complete. And if you want to have a nice effect, you can do light, you can press lightly, but if you press real hard, not too hard to break everything, but you fill it in and it gets nice and rich. See how that is? Where you can lightly do it and you see a lot more white come through, and that's what gives it a little more of a pastel kind of feel, but I like it rich. I like it dark. Fill it in. Get that color that's there. Alright, so we got blue feet, purple and green body, pink kind of like an orange and red head, and we got blue eyes. Let's go with orange for the hands. One hand is right there. And all we did was scribble. We scribbled for a good bit. Get your frustrations out. Scribble on that page. If you put a hole and a tear in the page, who cares? Keep going. Scribble away, and then you'll find all sorts of stuff in that scribble. There you go. Now let's fill this guy in here. Now orange is right there. Now I'm not going to use orange here because for his head, because I think it's going to ping back and forth between your eye hair, back and forth. So I'm going to use another color, and maybe not blue because it might ping off of that. So something that's going to work with the blue and the yellow, orange, but not go ping. If we put a blue here, it's not going to work so well. That's my opinion. You can do whatever you want, of course. So let's make it a yellow. Okay. Yellow head. Now, maybe purple. Purple for the feet. Feet are right there. Feet are right there. And it's your drawing. You choose who you want to be or what you want to draw. You choose. It's not up to me. Now, what I like to do is I put a little line over here. This is the background coming into play. And you can put your background in however you want. Another thing to do is leave a little border around the outside, because if you frame this, you're going to want to, or you don't have to, but it's nice because when you go to matte and frame it, you don't have to matte and frame it, but I like to work on standard seat. Like this is probably 11 by 14, but you know they're standard size frames, like 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 10. This is 11 by 14. This is only big paper. Use whatever you want. You can use copy paper or draw wood on whatever you want. When the junk mail comes this afternoon, flip that envelope over and draw on it. Okay. And up here, maybe a little sun. And the sun's got eyeballs. And a nose. And a mouth. And raise. And the rays are just triangles. Work out your shapes. So we've got triangles here, we've got ovals here, kind of an oval here for the hand. We got a four-shaped trapezoid here for the foot. Then semicircle for the other foot over here. Another semicircle for this foot. And we have a little loop there for the grass over the ground is going to be. Alright. Now we're going to fill in the bottom part here. I'm going to fill in that with yellow. So I like yellow. I used to like red and black as my favorite colors. And white. But now I like red. There, that's yellow. And I'm going to go for a lighter series of colors for the background so these pieces will pop more. That sounds like a good idea. So this is like a lighter color here. Do whatever you want. You experiment, you draw the way you want to. That's the trick. You don't have to draw every day, but you know, if you draw 10 minutes a day, doodling on the train or on the bus to school, and then you date it and sign it, and then post your drawings to my Facebook wall if you want, and share the video. Let other people know. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow, drawing. We'll do it again. Maybe even later today. I got to get some lunch in me. I make art every day. That's my job. I'm an artist. You know, I hang out with my dogs and my kitties, and I make art. I've posted on Facebook. I've been online since 1995. I've been online for 25 years selling my work. I worked with an internet company in 1995. We were on a T1 line, and we were flying through the internet at great net speed back then on a T1. And when most people had a dial-up. Some people don't understand what that means, but imagine using your telephone line and a modem to go on the internet, and having it was very slow, but it was like television speed back then. And I created websites, graphics, I maintained a lot of pages. The guys made websites that were trying to do e-commerce back then in '95 with credit cards. And it's a fun, wild time. Those guys work 20 hours plus a day. Literally. I'm not making that up. Okay. So this is probably a good chance to see what happens when your Sharpies dry out and they're all like fadey. Keep those markers. Then you get nice hues, nice tints. Drying out black Sharpies, you get nice grays with that. You don't have to keep them, to their absolutely pristine and perfect, and then, and then to heck with that. Now I got some blue here, Sharpie. Now if we go over it with a white colored pencil, I wonder what's going to happen. Well, it'll tone it down a bit. You can put colored pencil right over Sharpie. Sharpie doesn't work really well on colored pencil because at least with this colored pencil, it has a wax. Graphite pencils are not lead. They are graphite, which is a natural composition that's found in the earth, and clay. And depending on the quantity of that two items is the softness and hardness of the pencil, of the graphite pencil. More graphite, less clay, it'll be a softer. More clay, less graphite will be a harder. And it's depending on, they have a middle range, like an HB is a number 2 pencil. Number 2 pencils are really good to draw with. So we're going over our Sharpie with a white colored pencil. That's what we're doing right now. If he's tuned in, this is David Gerbstadt. We're drawing. Drawing is just moving the pencil around on a paper. You can use envelopes. They come in the mail, junk mail. Works fine. There's plenty of mail that comes in every day. One of my favorite artists is he has shown me drawings he's done on the junk mail, and they're phenomenal. And they're just doodles. And he just, after a while, he just bins them. So, yeah, so we're going to go, we like that. So this is the blue again. You can use whatever color you want. You don't have to follow my lead. I'm just giving you ideas. Get you going. Don't copy me. Whatever you do, don't copy me. Draw your own way. I'm just giving you examples. So we got a little bit of Sharpie down. Now we come back with the blue, the white colored pencil. And if we go over these lines with the figure, it's okay. You can always go back if you want. So we went over that line there. Where did he go? Okay, that line is right there. Darken that in there like that. That's the guy's body. And his leg goes right there. Okay. Now let's see what we got here. Let's make his body red. More sounds. Sounds are necessary when we're drawing. Absolutely necessary. Maybe if we go, there we go. See how that waxy film is? Sharpies are hard to go over that. Sharpies are ink. That's why you never see a white Sharpie. Do you know why you never see a white Sharpie? Because white is a dye in ink. I looked it up on the Sharpie page. You're never going to see a white Sharpie. They have metallic ones with, the flakes of metal in there. But you can use whatever marking pen you want. This is just what I got on hand here. They're all the same to me.
And maybe. Green. Oh, green there. I don't like to go over that yellow white. Alright. Now let's do the sun up here. Okay. Put some red in there. We'll skip one, put red right there. Skip that one. Red right there. Skip one. Red right there. Skip one, red there. Skip one, red right there. Skip one, red right there. And we do, yeah, we're evening out. Okay. And that's looking pretty good. If anybody sees me, chime in and let me know. Get some yellow right there. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Maybe some orange. So we do the scribbling. All this page is completely scribbling with ballpoint pen, Sharpie. And then we do the fill in. We find these characters or whatever you want in the scribble. Okay. Okay. All right. And let's give some red. Where's the lips? Her lips. All right. And I'm going to put in some blue for the eyeballs. There you go. Alright, I'm going to fix the rest of this here. Put some yellow in there. It's going to probably turn into too much black behind it. But yeah, put some yellow. There you go. Fill it in. Fill in the whole page with color. Art makes time go away. It really does. Because you're doing something else. Your mind is focused on something else. And that's good, because then you get to some place where you have never been before, and it's meditative. You get to a meditative state of mind, and you get to see what you thought you never thought possible. And you could do that with drawing for gardening. And what the heck, we'll sell this drawing too. After we sign it, of course. And you'll pay whatever you want. And another way to get something done is turn your crayon or whatever you got on its side. And that way you can shade in too. Just turn the whole crayon on its side. Kids know that. You know. Because I tried to draw like a child for the rest of his life. Children know how to be artists automatically. And somewhere along the lines you're told, you know, you've got to do this and that in a certain way. And it's all gets distorted and you forget about it. And then when I had my nonprofit, I had adults telling me they hadn't drawn for 20, 30, 40 years. 40 years. And once they were doing it for 10 minutes, they were so happy. And Harvard's medical studies have shown that if after drawing for half an hour, your blood pressure is lowered significantly. Children are making art while they're getting their chemo. There's art therapists in hospitals. Why? To have family members cope with other families that are doing art, you know, that are in there for serious issues. And people are like so resisting to make the art, but once they make the art, their anger and their frustration and their fear comes out, and they start to realize that they can be healed with art when their family's in the hospital. And they feel so helpless. Well, you know what? Life turns on a dime. I've learned that. You can do whatever you want. No point living in fear and panic. It won't get you anywhere. You'll end up right back in the same spot. This drawing's coming to an end. And I'm getting hungry. Drawing and making art builds up an appetite. Especially when you wake up really early like me. Alright, so we're going to sign this. This pen is not working out. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go with the pastel to sign this puppy. Alright, let's find a dark color to sign it with. This looks like it's a black. Alright, remember now, sign your work, date it, and it's yours. D-A-B. The hardest part of my art is signing my name. Always been that way. David. Gerb. What's Gerb? Anybody? Gerb is Tanner. And Stat is city. And today is the 9th. So 4, 9, 20. Like 20. And that's a drawing. You did it yourself. You used ballpoint pen in the beginning, and we scribbled all over the page. And we kept going until there was hardly very little white left. Just a little bit of white left on it. Not completely black. And then from those scribbles, we pulled out shapes. We pulled out loops for the head. More loops that we saw in the scribble for the eyes. And we saw the pupils in there. And in the mouth was an oval with lines coming down. Put some hair on it. We found this triangle shape, sort of, for the body here, and this weird shape here for the rest of the body. We found these swooping lines here and around for the leg, and this swooping line and down and around is a semicircle for their foot. For this figure, we saw a big oval shape, sort of, for the mouth and for the head. And a little oval shape and a weird shape for their other eye. We don't know if they're male or female. They're just drawings. Body part here with an arm, another shooting out arm, 3 fingers on this, 4 on this. Strange shape here for the foot, and a very strange, I believe that's a trapezoid over here. So a lot of drawings are made out of shapes. We got ovals, trapezoids, straight lines, semicircles, more ovals, tighter ovals, sort of like a triangle shape, whatever shapes you want. The background is just a straight line over here with a little and making sound effects during the drawing is very necessary. And up here we put a little happy sun, and we put the triangles around as radiating light. Color is light. That's what color is. And black is all the colors and white is the absence of color. And more ovals for the eyes and the mouth. And we used today over the ink, ballpoint pen. I've used also pencil for my scribble. You can use regular number 2 pencil. And then we went over with colored pencil and pastel. And to set your pastel drawings, if you use that, you can use regular hairspray. I'm sure you have either hairspray or you can get it from the drugstore. And that's what the artists in the courtrooms use, is hairspray. That's it. That's it for me today. I'll be back later. I'm going to be drawing maybe this afternoon. We'll see how it goes. And until then, thank you for watching. And we're going to do this again tomorrow, most definitely. Stay tuned. And if you want to buy the drawing, just personalize, message me on Facebook and we'll get that done. Bye-bye.